Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so as to get the latest update for the videos uploaded on iExamB. In this video, we are going to talk about the vacancies that have come out in the Central Bank of India related to the financial analyst, risk manager and credit officer. There is a good number of vacancies, around 45 vacancies in total from these three areas for the CA and finance professionals. So in this video, we are going to discuss in detail the vacancies which are there for all these three posts. What are the important dates that you can keep in mind, the eligibility for each of these three posts, the job profile, what exactly do they do, the differences between these three, the salary and allowances, the exam pattern and the expected syllabus for all these three vacancies. So coming to the vacancy detail, as you can see in the highlighted areas, there are 10 vacancies for the credit officer, which is at the scale 3 level. For risk manager, there are a total of 15 vacancies, 5 at the scale 3 level and 10 at scale 2 level. And then there is around 20 vacancies for the financial analyst post. So around total 45 vacancies in these three posts that have come out in the Central Bank of India. The important dates that you can keep in mind, the registration is as of now open and it will remain open till the 17th of December. So we still have a lot of time. You can, if you are eligible and if you want to give this exam, you have time to apply and register for this. And these are all tentative dates, of course, dependent on the situation, the external situation in the country related to COVID. The tentative examination date is 22nd of January, right, which gives us a good 50 days to prepare for this exam. Okay, so what all you need to prepare, that I will discuss, as I said, in detail, the estimated syllabus, expected syllabus that you should keep in mind for these three posts. The eligibility, it's given in the notification for your benefit here. For the credit officer scale 3 post, the age is around 26 to 34 years. So minimum age 26 years and maximum age 34 years. There is relaxation for SC/ST category, which you can see in the notification. This is for the unreserved category. The essential qualification is either you are a CA or a CFA or SACMA, or you have an MBA degree with specialization in finance. The preferred qualification, so this is not an essential qualification, it is a preferred qualification, is your GAIB and CAIB. If you have cleared these certifications from IIBF, then they will be given a preference. What is the experience? The post qualification, and these experience have to be your post qualification. So post qualification of your essential qualification, right? So in case you are the CA, CFA or ACMA, then you need a 3 years post qualification where in any of the PSPs, public sector banks or financial institutions or credit rating agencies which are there in the country, like CRISIL, ICRA, CARE, Brickworks, so Acute. So any of these credit rating agencies you work with, or any kind of NBFCs whose AUM is more than 10,000 crores. So not small NBFCs, but if you've worked in big NBFCs or credit rating agencies or financial institutions or public sector banks, 3 years of minimum experience is required in the field of corporate credit appraisal or assessment. And in case you have an MBA finance, similar kind of experience, but here the experience goes up to 4 years instead of 3 years. So that is the qualification, the eligibility for the credit officer scale 3 level. The eligibility for risk manager for scale 3, the age here they have given as 20 to 35 years, but I think it should be somewhere in this range, because similar age they have given for scale 2 also. Nevertheless, the notification mentions that at minimum age of 20 and maximum age of 35 years. Here the qualification, the essential qualification is that you are an MBA in finance or an MBA with specializing in banking or any other equivalent specialization within MBA, or a postgraduate in statistics. And your preferable qualification, again apart from this is essential, your preferable is if you have done FRM, CFA, diploma in risk management, PRM, or any advanced degree in analytics, or you have certification in SPSS, SAS. So this is preferable because this helps in your job profile. Essential is your MBA. Here the minimum experience required is 3 years in the area of risk management, credit, treasury, or ALM. ALM is your asset liability management. Okay. Risk manager for scale 2. So this was for scale 3. Here also similar thing, MBA or PG in finance, banking, statistics. They have also added maths here. Here they had only mentioned statistics with at least 60% marks. Again, the preferable qualification is you have FRM, CFA, or diploma in risk management. Experience as compared, because this is scale 3, here the experience was 3 years. In case of scale 2, it is 2 years experience that is required in any of these 3 areas: risk management, credit, treasury, or ALM. When we come to the financial analyst, this is a scale 2 vacancy. The age is 20 to 35 years, and your essential qualification is either you are a CA or a cost accountant from ICWA or an MBA in finance. There's no preferable qualification mentioned for financial analyst, but the experience here is also different for these two. If you are a CA or ICWA cost accountant, then you do not need any experience. So this is very good opportunity for freshers who have recently completed their CA degree or cost accountant degree. And in case you've done an MBA in finance, in that case you need a 3 years experience in a public sector bank or undertaking. So this is the total eligibility in terms of your essential qualification and your experience that is required. So it's for experienced professionals, a very good vacancies that have come, and for freshers who have recently completed their CA, it's a very good vacancy in the financial analyst space. What exactly will be the job profile? So this is something that is not mentioned in the notification, but what exactly is the difference between these 3 posts and what will you be required to do? To give you an idea about it, this is in this slide, this is what I am going to discuss. So as a credit officer, basically your job responsibilities and duties and roles include that of appraising the credit appraisal of a project. So when you are in a bank, what is the bank involved in? The bank is involved in giving loans, lending money. So when they are lending money to, they appraise, they analyze the company before giving a loan, before sanctioning or approving a loan. So the process is known as the credit appraisal. So as a credit officer, credit appraisal is one of the bigger responsibilities of a credit officer. Then when you are giving loans, you have to even monitor those loans, monitor the assets, whether they are in line with what you had estimated, and maybe you put in certain covenants, certain points that the company should follow as a borrower. So you are monitoring those assets, you are assessing the risks in line with whatever the credit policies of the bank are, and the bad loans management. So we know in banks NPA is a problem. So of course the idea is not to let any account or any asset go into the NPA category, and if they do, then how to manage those, how to reduce the probability of it being an NPA. So as a credit officer, these are some of the major, I'm not saying these are the only, but these are some of the major job responsibilities of a credit officer. When we look at the risk manager is basically trying to manage a risk in the organization, in the bank. So identifying the risks assessing those risks. So when you're identifying, you're also trying to estimate or measure that risk, assess that risk, and also estimate and measure that risk with the help of financial data. And that is why here a person who has done a degree in statistics is also considered. Why? Because so that they're able to analyze the financial data and measure it in some tangible numbers and come up with mitigation strategies, risk mitigation strategies. So estimating, analyzing, identifying risks, doing scenario analysis, stress analysis, and seeing the impact of that on the financials of the working of the bank, that is the role of a risk manager. As a financial analyst, now what do? As a financial analyst, you basically analyzing the financial statements. Now financial statements for what purpose? Now these can be varied purposes, right? One can be that when banks are giving loans, sometimes the loans are also given for projects. Okay, projects which are going to be operational in future. So there can be a financial appraisal of those projects that you are doing. So there are various aspects of a project. Financial appraisal is one of the aspects. So future financial models, doing the DCF valuation, trying to find the value, how profitable in future the project will be. So that is one aspect of doing it. Another financial analysis can be from the investment point of view. Banks also have their own investment proposals. So assessing various fixed income products, structured products, investment proposals. So from both sides, these can be the job profiles for a financial analyst in a bank. Right? Coming to what do you get if you get this job, the salary and allowances are very transparently told in the public sector. So scale 2 and scale 3, here you can see the remuneration. Approximately what people get in hand is around 75,000 per month in these scales. There are various allowances that are available, some of them on a monthly basis, some on an annual basis. Just to give a gist, apart from of course HRA, conveyance allowances and all, you get approximately 75,000 per month in these scales. As to give you an example of certain other allowances that you are eligible for on an annual or in a block of few years, these can include your petrol, cleaning, newspaper, mobile reimbursements on a monthly basis, medical allowances on an annual basis, entertainment allowances. There could be furniture, big purchases, mobile purchases related, laptop purchases in a block of 3 years, or leave fare concessions in a block of 4 years. So these are some of the other allowances that you are eligible for. Now coming to the exam pattern, we know what the job profile can be like, what the eligibility is like, what the remuneration can be like. Now what do you have to do to get that job is go through an exam, an online written exam, and after if you clear that, then a interview round will happen. So first we have to focus on the written exam because that's the first step, plus that has more weightage in the overall selection, right? So it's a simple test, only one level exam that you have to give, consisting of 3 categories. First is your subject specific or the category specific questions. So that will be different for credit officer, it will be different for risk manager, it will be different for the financial analyst, right? And then there will be the common subjects like computer knowledge, 20 marks, and banking and general awareness and economic awareness, what is happening around you in the financial world, in the country, in the economic world in the country. That will have another 20 marks weightage, 20% weightage in the overall exam, right? So now the key point is, what do we have to study for the category specific, computer knowledge, and for the general awareness section? So that is what I am going to discuss in detail. This is the expected syllabus based on the job profiles, similar kind of exams that have happened in the past for such kind of vacancies. So I have categorized this in 2 types of syllabus. Your common subjects, which you will have to study for all these 3 posts, whichever post you choose is what I mean. whether it is a credit officer or is it the financial analyst or the risk manager. And these are some things that you would have studied in your qualifications, either MBA finance or CA or CFA that you may have done. So this is basic concepts in financial management and like financial statements and its analysis. So what are the three financial statements you should be knowing in detail about the financial statement, the balance sheet, the income statement, the cost, the cash flow statement, what all goes into there, what are the different assets, what is a liability, what will be income, what will be expenses. So good understanding of the financial statements and its analysis is something that you will have to be doing in any of these three posts if you are preparing for. Then you should also have an understanding of the bank's financial statements. Why? Because you're going to work in a bank, so you should be able to understand how the bank's financial model works and how their statements are different from that of any other corporate. Ratios coming from the financial statements and their analysis, ratios is very, very important. Profitability ratios, liquidity ratios, solvency ratios, you should be able to calculate them, understand their significance. Capital budgeting is used to appraise projects, long-term projects, and most important techniques are your IRR and your NPV. So again, conceptual understanding and calculation based also. Then your cost of capital and then the CAPM model also. This may be more relevant maybe for the financial analyst, but cost of capital overall for debt, for equity, for preference shares, weighted average, everything is what you should be aware of. Working capital and management, more significant for credit officer, but overall all three posts, if you any of these three posts you are applying, you should have understanding of that. Basic understanding of accounts. When I say basic understanding of accounts is accounting principles you should be aware of. How one becomes an asset, one is liability. So what are the principles that help in identifying those? So that good understanding, some key rules related to depreciation, inventory valuation, right? So all these basic understanding of accounts you should have. Basic understanding of, again, costing. What is fixed, what is variable, what will be marginal, what will be standard costing. So what all is included in a cost sheet, what all is not included. So all this basic understanding of costing, marginal costing as I mentioned. Break-even analysis and PV contribution concepts is another aspect you should be knowing. The operating and the financial leverage concept. The bonds and the related terms to bonds. What are different types of bonds? What is the meaning of yields in bonds? These kind of concepts. Basic understanding of the capital markets and also of the money markets. And the basic understanding of the monetary policy and the fiscal policy. So monetary policy is given by the Central Bank of India, that is RBI, not Central Bank, the bank here in where vacancies have come, but RBI, the Central Bank of the country. And the fiscal policy is that of the government related to taxes and revenues, expenses of the government. And then a basic understanding, some understanding of the various types of risks and the risk management, especially in the banking sector. The overview of the Indian financial system, who are the key regulators, what are the types of banks that exist, what are the types of NBFCs. So basic understanding, overview of the Indian financial system and of the financial markets. So this is kind of covered here also. Your capital and money markets is the major part of the financial markets in the country. Otherwise they also include your forex and the bond. Overview is enough. Some more details about the capital and money markets will be something that you should be knowing. Now this is something, as I said, is common. If any of the three vacancies that you are aiming at is something you should be aware of. Now category specific, depending on, because of the area or the profile these relate to. For credit officer, what is of more importance is your very good understanding of different type of ratios and financial statements. Then you should also be aware about RBI regulations related to the banking sector and the prudential norms. So say you're a credit officer, you should know about PSL guidelines. You should know about large exposure uh, framework and the norms related to it. You should be aware about, asset classification and provisioning norms, right? What is NPA, what is a doubtful asset, okay, what is a loss asset, what is a substandard asset, right? What are SMAs, and what are the provisions for these three? So prudential norms and certain key guidelines that help in banks taking exposure, you should be aware of those related aspects. Or if RBI comes out with restructuring, for one time restructuring for MSME, so these things you should be aware that will affect your work as a credit officer. So some key regulations that are related to the banking sector and the lending business of the banks. And then NPN related norms, as I said, like asset classification provisions, any kind of restructuring norms, if RBI allows any kind of moratorium that RBI allowed, like last year it allowed for COVID. So any kind of such news or regulations you should be aware about, that you can concentrate on. Then financial inclusion, as I said, PSL is a very big part of financial inclusion. So what are the rules related to financial inclusion? What all is included? Jan Dhan, bank accounts were there, basic service savings bank account is there, PSL guidelines are there. So now financial inclusion index is also being brought about by RBI. So these things you should be aware about. As a risk manager, the key points are good understanding of the various types of risks that exist, risk management, and then Basel norms. So Basel norms, you can overview, can have an understanding for credit officer also, but a more detailed understanding should be there for a risk manager. Even derivatives, different types of derivatives that exist, you should know. You should have basic understanding of statistics and the basic economic concepts, both at the micro and macro level. At the micro level, some understanding of demand and supply, or market structures, and at the macro level, GDP related, national income related, GDP growth related. What is GDP meant? What do you mean by that? What is inflation? So concepts, basic concepts of micro and macro. You don't have to go into every depth, but something that you should be aware about, that will have an impact and pose risks to the bank. As a financial analyst, what you should pay attention to, in addition to the common aspects, were the types of different securities, so the equity, the debt, different types of debt, mutual funds are there, insurance products are there. So different types of securities that exist, and the different investment avenues that exist in the country. Capital markets is what you should be knowing well about. Market efficiency as a concept you should be aware about. Also money markets, again, so this was there in the common also. You have to lay a little more emphasis for the financial analyst post on these aspects. Derivatives is another aspect you should be aware about. Then as I told, financial appraisal is another part that can be the job profile of a financial analyst. So good understanding of what is the free cash flow, how it is calculated, what is the DCF model, how it is done, that also there should be there. Portfolio management related concepts you should keep in mind. Valuation concepts, both for equity and for bond valuation concepts, and some economic updates that are happening. This will kind of overlap with your GA preparation also. So this is some post specific areas you should focus on or give more importance to for your preparation. In computer knowledge, the aspects that you can prepare for, like history of computers, parts of computers, the input output devices, hardware, software, computer languages, operating system related basic knowledge, MS Office and internet related terms and knowledge, then networking, database management, committees, keyboard shortcuts. These kinds of questions are asked in MCQ forms in the exams. And when it comes to general awareness, it is not just pure general awareness static, it is your banking and economic and financial awareness also. So things that are in news. So this is, it's helpful for you if you're preparing for any of these three posts, because somewhere they are also going to be a part of your professional knowledge questions. So some banking reforms, regulatory bodies related questions, international banking or banking and financial terms that are in news, financial and capital markets news that is happening, credit rating agencies or monetary policies. So RBI is going to come out with the next monetary policy in the first week of December. So that is what you should be aware about, what they have said and the terms that are used there. Budget related certain terms and news related to committees, MOUs, new apps that are launched by the banking sector, mergers or government schemes that are in news, right? So these are certain aspects that you should prepare. The good part is for these vacancies, when you are preparing for these, they are kind of helping you in the professional knowledge preparation also. For banking and industry, we have a very good compilation by the name of BPedia, which is available both in English and in Hindi freely on our website under general awareness. They are a weekly and a monthly compilation of all the news which is segregated for financial, economic, national, static, bank related news. So you can read them at one place in a collated form. So this is freely available on our website, so you can refer to those for your general awareness preparation. For your professional knowledge preparation for any of these three vacancies, whether it is credit officer, financial analyst or credit officer, as of now, if you are interested in any kind of course or any kind of guidance from iExamP side, then please fill the form which is available in the description of the box. To tell you, if you do need any help at iExamP, we have expert faculty for the professional knowledge aspect. Neha ma'am, she is an MBA in financial management, and from Delhi University. She's done a BCom honors from Shri Ram College of Commerce and has worked with credit rating agency ICRA as a research associate. She has an experience of mentoring and teaching students for the preparation of government jobs from the last 4 years now. And myself, Prachi Agarwal, I have a 10 years of experience in all these areas: risk analysis, credit management, investment banking and equity research. I have worked for 5 years with a hedge fund in the equity markets as a financial analyst, and then I have worked for 5 years with a credit rating agency, CARE Ratings, assessing big corporates for their risk and the credit aspect. And I have done an MBA finance from BIMTech and BCom honors from Hansraj College. We also have expert faculty for the other two subjects also. For GA, we have Mr. Sushil Ragde, who is an expert himself in all these areas and given and cleared various exams himself. He's an ex-RBI manager, cleared RBI grade B in the first attempt, and he has cleared various other exams for the banks and CAT, net qualified. He's an expert in maths, finance, economics and GA, and has been mentoring for the government exams for more than 10 plus years. Mr. Amit Parhi, who is a BCom honors graduate and has experience of more than 4 years in the banking space, and is an expert and a content writer for general awareness. And for computer awareness, computer knowledge, we have Miss Jayanti Mishra, who is a BTech in IT and a GATE rank holder, and she has more than 5 years of experience in the IT space. She's been mentoring and teaching for the subject for more than 2 years, in fact actually more than 3 years now. Okay, so if you are interested, we have run similar profile related courses successfully already running and done in the past. So if you are interested in any kind of guidance, please do fill up the form. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Do not forget to subscribe and press the bell icon.